Yeah. All right. All right. What's going on, guys? First episode of Inside the Mind podcast. And today we have Johnny Boy from the Fast Lane Forum. I guess we could just start off by I just want to ask you, you're just somebody that I've really looked up to on the forum because like I know that you're like young, like you just said, you're 25. And you're like the one person that I've seen that's actually legit that has built something really awesome and your advice is great. And I'm just like wondering, what's your backstory? Like where do you come from? And how would you describe yourself?
Yeah, I've always been growing up. I was always a baseball player. I was always a bit of an athlete. Um, and then I kind of never felt like a purebred athlete, though. I was always thinking about business and other things. I didn't realize it yet. Um, so that was kind of interesting. Like looking back, it makes sense. But, when I was just a baseball player, like I didn't care about looking up who the players were or getting the cards or like thinking about baseball. I just played it. And then I was really thinking about business. I was thinking about like what I was going to build with my life. And so I guess so background was very, very young. I used to like race dirt bikes. That was the thing I liked to do. And then got into Boy Scouts, started to play baseball when I was like around like 8 years old and did that until college. So played baseball in college. Um, after college ball, I realized I wasn't going to get drafted, and so uh, I left school, and then I went and got a job selling cars. So that was my first thing was sales, because I knew that if I was going to do anything, I would need to be able to communicate. I'd need to be able to sell stuff and work with people and be able to get people to agree to a deal. I think that there's a lot of deal making goes on in business. So really good skill to have is the ability to sell and to persuade and to rapport with people. So that was something I did after that. I was living at home. I saved up my money after a year of selling cars, and then I started a business. So I started a lawn care business. And the first thing I did was I tested it. I got a ton of response. The advertising worked really well. I hired people within like 2 weeks. I hired people like right away to test if I could run this business model the way that I would need to run it if I was going to grow it. And then, it just our goal has been to double every year. So we've never missed. So we try to double every year. That's our goal.
What was your first marketing strategy to get yourself out there? How did you make your first sale?
So I had built websites for people, very in a very small scale, but for like a few $100 before that. So I had known how to build websites, which I was already better than most landscapers in my area because I could, put together a good website, write some good copy, and then do an advertising campaign. So I got us ranked on Google My Business on a GMB listing. I got that ranked on like the first page within the time I made it. So we immediately started getting people from Google. The next was Facebook ads, and then like Craigslist ads actually were doing pretty good for us. But just those things have been like really good for us growing, have been just paid online advertising.
And then do you do any like outbound or manual outbound or like reach outs,
like
anything
postcards
like
and stuff like that?
Yeah, direct.
We did a direct mail campaign for a new neighborhood that got built because all of the houses, 100% of them were like ideal for what we do. We deal with like really small properties. And so a new development with like 1,000 houses just got put out, and they were building houses over there. So we sent out a direct mail campaign, and we signed up like 30 people from that. And the average profit for those customers was like, I would say is like $500 of profit for each one. So 15 worth of, so a direct mail campaign cost about $1 a door or something like that. Right. And so it was worth it. Spent 1,000, got like 15 out of it over the course of a year for those 30 people. So it was
wow.
It won't be like that everywhere. Like that was like an ideal every door mailing campaign. Like that was like the best way to do it for us. It wouldn't work like that in every area for every. It was just like really good really good location, really good timing, and a really good offer. So it worked pretty. But we primarily lean on like Facebook ads, just because it's so scalable and you can, you know, you can extract their contact info out with a form, and then you kind of own that contact, and you can track it much easier, and you can turn it off and on and see if it's working within a day. You're not taking a risk. Um, you know, so.
And I saw in the forum that you said that like right now or this year, I'm not sure what it was. You said your company is going to do about 600,000 revenue. And I
Yeah,
don't know
we're
if
at 50 grand. We're over 50 grand a month right now. Yeah, every month.
yeah. So like my
For
question
12
is,
months.
how did you get to the point where, you know, you could scale like all of those places? Like, are you in different towns? Are you, do you have multiple trucks and stuff? Like, obviously, like how do you go about that?
Yeah, so our main location has been running since 2018 is what does the bulk of it. Because we opened 2 locations this year, but we opened them in like July. Like we just opened them, you know, and so those other ones they're growing. Obviously, we didn't even start at the beginning of the season, so people sign up March through like July. We opened those locations in July, just because the people that wanted to open them were like, why not? Why not just do it now and see how it goes? Even though we're late for the year, we'll still try. So that main location gets like $40,000 a month of revenue right there. Um, so we have it 4 trucks. We had 5, but I like made it more efficient. We got down to 4 trucks in the place we operate right now in Washington. Our other locations are about like 25 minutes north of that first location, just south of Seattle. And then our other locations in Salt Lake City.
Oh wow. So when you were starting like your business, I'm really interested. How did you like think that you could do this? Like did you find the Fast Lane book and that was it? Or like what was it? How did you
No,
motivated you?
I think I signed up for the fast lane like long time ago.
Yeah.
Way like 3 years before I started the business or something. I heard about it through like another blog that I was reading or something as like a 16-year-old, and I was like, I'll sign up for the fast lane. And I never even read anything. I never posted anything. But then I came back to it. I forget how I came back to it, and then I had already started my business. And then I was like, I'll just post on here. I think like one of my first posts was like, hey, I started a lawn care company. I'll like track how I'm doing here. Um, and then it was funny, like I just kind of I didn't make decisions based on what I thought other people would think. I thought it's a really shitty industry and it's a really bad business how other people run it. So if I listen to other people, I'll end up with the same shitty results. So I just ignored everybody. And what was funny as I look back and like 10 people were all telling me the same things on the post. And I was like, whatever, like that's stupid. I'm not gonna listen to you. And I was just really arrogant and like, I'm glad that I was. Um, so did the forum start my business, or did I like do it because of? No, it was completely separate. I was working for a guy like splitting wood in my free time because I had very little time. I was playing baseball, you know, and so I was splitting wood for this guy in like the afternoons for like 2 hours a day or something, for like $10 an hour. And a lawn care company came to his house and cut his grass, and they were here and then they left, and it was like very quick. And I said, like, how much do you pay these guys? And he said, like $400 a month. What am I doing here, bro? Like, that's a week working. Like, what am I doing? So I was like, dude, I cut grass. What the hell, bro? And I just thought, I just did the math and I was like, I could make 100 grand if I just cut grass by myself. And that was literally it. That was like, because I was just a super broke, you know, like kid. I was your age. And I just thought, man, I could make 100 grand. That's so much money. That's a lot of money, dude. And for a kid, that is a lot of money. And then I ended up selling cars. I saved up the money, and then I started the lawn care business. And I immediately hired people. I thought
Immediately.
to do it. I thought I was going to do it to like work myself and make money. And then I was like, yeah, I should hire people. It just occurred to me like I should have other people do it. And yeah, and ever since then, we've just been making small adjustments, setting goals, hitting them, trying to grow again the next year. And it's kind of turned into, kind of snowballed into like my goals have snowballed into like, it wasn't just, okay, I want to make this. And now it's, I feel like a piece of shit if we don't do like 1.5 million next year. Like I feel like an idiot. So it's really funny how things kind of snowball. So that's how it started. Was I went out and I got customers, I ran ads, and I found that everyone was very desperate to find someone to take care of their yard because they said no one showed up, or no one wanted to do any of the work. And I just, it was really easy to get customers. So that's kind of what gave me,
Yeah.
this is a problem in other places. Maybe there's like a lot of people that have this problem. I could probably make a lot of money if I could just build a really good small location here and then test it in other areas, and then we could make it big. So that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and what I want to get into, like, the whole like online thing and stuff like that, all that. But I have one question I was curious about. When you said you hired people automatically, did you just like go to your friends in high school or something like that, or did you like find people? Like, how did you go about hiring people right off the bat?
Well, I thought I treat everything like, I do not want to use friends and family ever, because I don't think that's business. I don't feel like that's business.
Mhm.
For me, business is when you sell something to someone that doesn't know you, that doesn't care, that didn't do it because you've known them for years. That's like cheating. I think that's cheating in business. And so you always want to. I always try to sell to people that I don't know, to prove a business model or prove demand. I don't want to sell to my friends and family. Like, to them, that's relevant to me. And then for hiring people too, I want to be able to hire people that I don't know, that don't like me, that aren't friends, because I can't have a million friends. So I can't go and hire a million people based on those kind of relationships. So I've got to test the market with people I don't know. Right. So hiring people, it was first it was Craigslist, and that was a shit show. I was like, I got a lot of crackheads, bro. But and then I just learned who to hire and who to not hire. I'm like picky now. But we use Indeed primarily for hiring people now.
Got you. So yeah, were you gonna say something?
No, I guess you just, after experience of hiring people, you start to get these, like, I'm not going to say prejudices, but you meet someone, you shake their hand, and you just have all these things you look for that, if you wrote them down, it would sound ridiculous. Like, wait, those are your criteria. The criteria are not like, oh, they say they're a hard worker, like, check, like I ask about their family. I ask about, like, if they are from this area or they moved here. I ask about, like, how high school was for them. Like, so there's different things I ask that are like, they seem ridiculous, but like, I'm picky.
You're kind of filtering people out.
Yes.
Got you.
I just look at names, resumes, etc. And I just, like, even for a lawn care, I throw away like 75% of the things we get. It's like instant trash. Like, I'm not even gonna give you a chance. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just have these, and so as a result of that, we have like a really good culture where people actually like working here, and they say it's a good job, and they bring in their friends so they can work together with their friends at this. Like, I'd say like hires we have are people bringing in their friends because they're like, dude, I got this job, it's cool, we could work together, and like, no one's going to bother us, it's really easy.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to have success in anything, you need to make it easy for other people, right?
Yeah.
So you have to make it easy for your customer, you have to make it easy for your employees, which makes it easy for your managers to manage. So then it just makes it easy for you. It's like it's this train of making things easy for everyone, and then you get to benefit from it. So make it difficult, then if you try to replace yourself, it's gonna be impossible to replace yourself. So
Yeah, great advice. I can honestly ask you. I could ask you a million questions about your business, bro. I want to move into the online sector. Like, when you started writing online, when and why did you start giving advice to people on like the forum or wherever? Like, I don't know if you're part of other communities, but why did you start doing that?
I'm really only on the forum. Like, I treat that like my social media. I don't I have like 200 Instagram followers, dude. Like, I don't care. Like, I think I post once a year. It's not I don't care.
Yeah.
So the forum is like, that's my social media. Like, that's like, I'll be on there wasting time instead of on Facebook or something. Like, and then I connect with people on there. But so your question was like, when did I start like giving advice on there?
Yeah, like why did you start doing it? Like were you trying to get anything out of it or like anything like that? Like what was the point for you to start helping people on there?
Um, that's a good question. Like, why do I want to why do I go on there? Um, it keeps my mind on business. I guess it's like, this is kind of my hobby and this is what I do for fun. This is like, if I just get left alone, I'll just think of business. I walk into like a bowling alley and I start counting like, okay, it costs like $20 to get a thing here. And this probably costs like 900,000 to get set up, SBA loan to get that started, 10% down, whatever. Okay. They're charging this much money. I got like 20 people buying tickets right now. They're probably bringing in like, 9,000 a day over a month. That's like, I just walk into a place and I start looking at the money of it. Like, that's just what I think. Most people, they go do an event and they're thinking about something else, or they're thinking about the people there. Like, I just start looking at the business of it. It's kind of like what I think naturally. So it's just interesting to me, I guess. Right. But I only like to talk about things I've done. I don't want to talk about something I haven't done unless I'm saying this is what I want to do. But if I go on there, I'm usually talking about something like, hey, I experienced this, or this is what, I put opinions on there too, because it's like, that's just what I think. I'm just, half of it's probably my opinion. But like, if I'm talking about something practically, it's something I've done or experienced. And that's probably why people like it, because I'm talking about something I've actually done.
Yeah. And how would you say that what do you think the best way is to use online forums for building relationships? How do you go about talking to people on there? Do you go and message people individually? How did you like build relationships? How has, I guess, the forum affected your relationships in terms of just getting them?
What's funny is everyone reaches out to me.
Mhm.
And that sounds bad, but like, I probably connect with a lot. I bet what's funny is the people that reach out to me, they probably reach out to a lot of people, so they end up with more friends than I do. So like, because all my friends are more popular, right? Like there's a few that if I mention them, you'll know, like, oh, I know that guy. Yeah. And then people have 900 friends and I have like 6. And so reach out. I don't do it, but reach out, because you're going to meet more people, because I'm sitting back, just saying opinions, and people message me, which is not like the most productive thing. Like, you should probably post some and then reach out to a lot of people. And the people that do that are going to build those connections. But I've had a lot of good connections with the people from that forum. I just went down in February to Mexico and was met up with like 50 of them. I don't know if you you ever heard of the Beer and Pancakes meetup?
No, I haven't.
So it's like a smaller, tighter knit meetup from people that are like typically on the forum, and they go to like some cool location, and it's like kind of, it's a little pricey, but it's like a really cool thing. You go to, like, we went to Playa del Carmen, to like an all-inclusive resort for the week. And we just do these like masterminds and small groups and like networking. And that's actually what started me to decide to open multiple locations this year, was like basically everyone telling me I was a pussy for not doing it, Yeah. So I've met a lot of people, and then also just personal friends. I've traveled through India with one of the guys there. Do you know David Stubbers?
I don't.
He's a good example. So he reaches out to everyone. So he has like 1,000 friends. And so he's very social, right? And so he's going to have way more connections than I do. But that's a good example of someone that reaches out, connects. Oh, I know a guy you can talk to. He's like the spoke. He's like the middle, the hub, and all the spokes know him. So that's a good way to leverage relationships. Is always be the one meeting everyone, connecting people. If you just know more people, then they'll talk about you when they meet, and they'll say, "Oh, I know because of him," and then you're still in the conversation. So, I feel like I go off on tangents and I'm trying to answer your questions directly.
No, yeah, I like is the forum like the only place that you go to like meet really smart people? Like, is there any like conferences that you go to, or you just kind of like tight knit and
That's it? Yeah, that's literally it. Is I just talk shit on a forum and people message me.
Yeah. Speaking of that, some of the stuff that you say might be like super polarizing, might inspire some people, and some people get really mad at you. Like the thing, my forum that on Rumble was. Really
oh, good. That did. I think I just posted on that today.
Yeah. But what does that help you on the forum, like building relationships and stuff like that, or have you noticed that it?
I don't know. That's not why, I don't log on and think, how do I type the words that are going to make the most amount of friends? Like I'm just doing it. It's like I just think I should say it. Something in my brain just says like, say that'd be funny, or say that would be like, that's intelligence. It's not I really don't. I think if you're going to go into like a networking event and you're trying to extract something from it, people are going to just smell that. Like if you just go on and it's like it's a SEO article and you're just trying to like backlinks or something, people are going to they're going to hate you. So I don't even think I can really quantify anything I've actually, like, I don't get anything directly from the forum. I just get friends. It's really just we have stuff in common, and I just talk to people and we meet up. But I guarantee, I mean, one of our franchisees is from there. He messaged me on the forum. So it's like, obviously there's actual real world benefit, but I never thought in a million years like that's what it would turn into.
Yeah.
It's always an unexpected benefit of just knowing people. It's just to meet people. I wouldn't look at it as like, this is going to get me more sales. This is going to get me more clients. You can give really good advice and then have like a thing that, is like a monetization of that. Like there's, Fox is on there. He has his web school. Like that's pretty straightforward for him. He posts, people find him, they sign up for the school. That's okay. So, I mean, I guess he might be extracting some from that. But I like him and we get along and we see things the same way. And, he's offering value. So that's the primary thing of when you're going on like a forum. I wouldn't do it to like get clients though. If that's like your growth strat, I honestly think you should look at it as like a for fun thing. Maybe building personal brand in the sense of like just networking with people online. But any more than that, I wouldn't be looking at it as like a sales funnel.
Yeah, I noticed that I made a marketplace ad one time, and it was kind of like whenever I posted something, people would kind of like view it differently than when the marketplace ad wasn't there, just because it felt like I was selling something constantly.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you, I'm not buying that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, basically. But anyways, moving on to the next topic. How have the two books that you introduced me to, the Pimpology and the other one was The Art of Human Chess, how have those books affected the way that you view life, and how do you maneuver differently now?
I read it when I was working selling cars, and I remember going back to work the next day, and I was like, oh my God, my boss is a pimp and I'm a hoe. I'm literally just getting hoed out. Like, and then the Saturday morning sales meetings were literally just like a like a pump up for your hose. Like, all right, hose, get out on the track and make me some money. Like, yeah. And then it was just like everything they said, all communication from managers wasn't communication of like, this is what I think. It's like, this is what I say to make you act a certain way. It was literally like, manipulative is thrown around a lot, but it was, everything was like, oh, that wasn't just a statement to like, because that's what they think. That was a statement of like, this is how I get my hose to work harder. It was literally that. And so that was kind of where it clicked, was like, I really gotta, I'm not a hoe. Like, what am I doing? I gotta run my own business, bro. Like, I'm gonna be a pimp. So that's where that came.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess those books, I read them the other day. I finished the Art of Hearing Chess the other day. And just some like really good marketing stuff. Like the one that really affected me that I noticed actually works on social media for me is the disappearing effect. When I come back to social media, there's just like a lot more people that are interested in what I'm saying. Like that probably doesn't even relate to you, but it's just something.
Well, man, I'm about to be really popular because I only post once a year. So
Yeah.
no, I think I kind of agree with the Gary V philosophy that it should be just like a constant, because there's such a sea of information that even if you post something, even if people are following you, they probably still won't see it. There's so much that just gets forgotten that it needs to be like a consistent stream where you just can't get away from it, where it's like in your face. And then applying that with only doing that to the places that are conducive for getting the best bang for your buck, like not writing blogs, because that's like 2003, 2004, making TikToks would be very, advantageous as compared to writing blog articles, right? Because like some places just get like trash or emptied out, all the gold gets pulled out of it, and then all that's left is like scraps, and then another. So I think marketing online is like, you got to find the place with all the stuff you look like. You have to find the place that's popping, and you have to go there and then extract the audience, get them to a newsletter, get them to and then you own it. And then if TikTok pops off, you go there and you get people from that, and then you're doing it to like the top 3 places. If you're doing like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok or something, and you're making Instagram reels and things like that, and then you're pulling out from that, it funnels to a newsletter type thing, which funnels to other things. Like that's the model, right? So I wouldn't be going places and putting in content infrequently. I would be doing it frequently. If I was trying to build an audience, it would be like, how do I do like 30 pieces of content a day, and then how do I put it at the 3 most popular platforms and then extract it all to like a newsletter.
Got you. Yeah, there's only 10 minutes left in the call. I just want to move on to the next topic real fast.
Okay.
Yeah. So how do you manage your time as a business owner? One of the problems.
Terribly. I waste so much
time. Really? You don't have a strategy?
No, I get up in the morning and I just do a little bit of admin stuff for like half an hour, and then I'm done. And that's it. I could sit on the couch and smoke weed for 16 hours a day. It's like
what about when you were building your business? There had to be some kind of like, discipline.
No, it was the problems I had to address. I address problems. I'm just putting out fires. And so it's like everything's a problem. And you would immediately, the secret to growing business is you have to be okay with things not being perfect. And then you be okay with people telling you that you suck. And then it's like, because the service we were offering was like not perfect, but a bad business owner would think it has to be perfect, and they would sacrifice the growth of their company to like, that's why people never grow their businesses, because they're like, oh, I could never do it with the same quality of if I did it. So I never hired people. And I knew that like people I hire are going to do a shit job. Like literally today, people are calling us, telling our customer service that like they didn't even mow the grass. They like just weed whacked it. They didn't even mow it. They didn't get the mower out. Like they just completely lied. And it's like that stuff's going to happen. And you just have to be okay with those things happening. Like you go to McDonald's and you order a burger and they fuck up your order. Like that's a multi-billion-dollar company. They do just fine. They still fuck your order up. It's okay. So you need to be okay with fucking things up. And then you're putting out fires, but you're not letting it like fuck with you. You're not letting it tear down your ego just because there's a problem. You're like, that's going to happen. That's okay. We're going to try to fix it. We're going to have a system for it, but I'm not going to not grow my business because of like an issue. I'm going to continue to grow it. Like we're going to get 1,000 calls every day that tell, you know, so I'm okay with it. I'm ready for it.
So you're saying that the best thing to do literally is just like remove yourself as fast as possible, hire people, and own the sale.
I'm a fast growing company relative to others in my industry, in my area. Like I'm as big as a company that's been around for like 30 years and they're like successful. Like I'm as big and we're going to be bigger than them next year. And I still feel like a piece of shit who's moving at a snail's pace. I still feel stupid. I still feel like I look and see people that like they grow and exit a SaaS company and make $30 million in 2 years. And I'm like, fuck, I'm an idiot, you know? So, go fast, hire people, like do it very fast as humanly possible. And then if that's too fast, then it was too fast. And then then you got to slow down. But I don't think we were doing it too fast. I think that I'm too slow. I'm too cautious. I need to put the pedal to the metal even harder and take bigger risks, you know? So.
Yeah. And what's the so next one is, what's the one piece of entrepreneurship advice that you would give to like young people, let's say people in high school, stuff like that? Like because obviously you're somebody that's been a success story from 16 years old to now. What would be your advice for those people?
You're young, focus on fitness and dating. Be cool.
Fitness and dating.
Be a cool dude. Yeah.
Fitness and dating, no business.
Yeah, I don't care. You could start, yeah, because you're gonna be a cool, confident person who thinks they win at everything. And then when you go into business, you're just gonna win that too. You know, like I would always be doing business, but if I would go back, it would just be pedal to the metal. Like I'm gonna get jacked, and, date all the cheerleaders, and then go start a business, and I'll be like 18 by that time. So that's it. Because the self-confidence, like you're gonna get shaken by a bunch of doubt if you're not confident, slightly arrogant person. And so those are the people that win that I've seen. And so I think that that's the most important thing. Like if you're just some nerd and you're sitting at home and you have like a lame life and you're not cool, if you go start a business, you're probably going to suck at that too. So like you're young, go do the young cool shit. And then, but advice for getting started in business is you don't know shit, so just do something. You don't know shit, so just do something. I didn't know shit, but I did something, and now I know something. So
even if you think you're giving value to somebody, even if you're not, just like do it. Even if they give you money and you can't provide it, just like go do it.
No, because that's cringy. That's weird. Like I'll do it for free. Like I'll give you a free one. Like, dude, I'm not getting out of bed for anything less than like $1,000, bro. Like I'm not gonna look at you for like I've got high expectations. If someone says, John, I need you to come to my house. It's half an hour away. I'll give you $200. I would be like, I don't know if I want to get dressed for that. Like I don't want to. So I wouldn't do shit for free, but I would just get started doing something. And I think a lot of people have low self-esteem, which kind of circles back to what I said. But the low self-esteem causes you to not want to ask for big money. Like I think you need balls, and I think you need to like. I just got an email that says that we're the winning bid for like a government contract for like $50,000. I'm not out here like I'll do it for free. Like 50 grand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. A lot of people do projects for like $1 million, but it's small peanuts. But I'm not afraid to just say yes to something like fuck it, 50 grand, and we'll probably make like a decent chunk of change out of that. So I think that you need to just do something, and don't be afraid of big numbers. How a little kid in school, they're always afraid of like discipline. They're afraid of the teacher. They're like, you tell them you're going to get in trouble. go back to school and you tell me I'm gonna get in trouble, I'd be like, fuck you, principal. I don't give a shit. Laugh at them, right? But like that's how people act in the real world is they're afraid of like nothing. So you got to be more willing to say yes to things, have confidence in yourself, have a little bit of arrogance, say yes to big things, and get comfortable quickly. I've been threatened to be sued like 10 times a year, like literally. Like and never once. No one has, people are just, you have to learn to be comfortable with uncomfortable things. And I'm very comfortable with all the uncomfortable things that come with growing a business. So get comfortable. That's probably that's like, and anything that causes you to be uncomfortable, if you're pushing past your comfort zone, that's a good thing for anything that you're going to do in business. It's just a good thing in life too. So that's some probably really good practical advice for any of your listeners would be to practice getting uncomfortable, doing things that are bigger than what you think you're ready for. Like I think that's why a lot of men do well in business is because they're more willing to do that than women usually. They're more willing to do stuff that they're not ready for. They're like, fuck it, I'll try it, But like women are typically more reserved and they think they're not ready, even though they could have tons of training. They still think they're not ready. Young dudes will be like, yeah, I'll climb that mountain with no experience. I don't mind. Like, I'll do that. So do things that you're not ready for to push your comfort zone.
All right, great. And then one more question. We got like 1 minute left. What's one book you'd recommend besides the other two books? Is there a book that you've gifted anybody that's just like so good?
No. Behold a Pale Horse.
What is that about?
It's by Bill Cooper. Look it up.
All right. Yeah, I'll just look it up. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. I really appreciate you doing this. Thanks for coming on, man. It's about to end. But yeah, this will be up on the forum soon. Yeah. I'll see you guys later. See you, Johnny. Have a good one, man.
You too. Bye.